Hello and welcome to Celebrant Training Scotland. I'm Lindy, I'm the lead tutor here on the training, and if you're watching this wee video, I'm assuming that you're interested in coming on the next funeral celebrant training in January 2021. And this video will hopefully give you some more information on what the course involves and how it will unfold. So it's a 4-day course run over 2 weekends. So the first weekend is the 16th and 17th of January, and then the next one is the 30th and 31st of January. And we'll talk about those 4 days in a moment. But this course is slightly different to the previous ones because we're also going to have some pre-course work and a 2-hour pre-course session where you will begin to learn about and write a full funeral service. And the reason for that is so that by the time the 4-day course starts, you already have your fully prepared funeral service that you'll be able to deliver on the last day of the course. And you might tweak it as you go, that's fine, but it means those 4 days can be given over to looking at all the other different aspects, the logistical and the practical aspects of being a funeral celebrant, as well as theory and practice. Because there will be a lot of practice on the course. You will be asked to deliver and present readings and poems and parts of your funeral service and maybe other pieces of literature and things like that, just to get you up practicing and working in your voice and your delivery and your style, etc. And we also have at least one other guest tutor who will lead you through a session on the power of storytelling and how that can be applied to your work. But there might be some other guest tutors also. The course is run online and it's run via the platform Zoom, so you will need to have that downloaded on your computer and ideally know how to switch on your microphone and your camera, because that's really, really important. But we do have a couple of wee sessions, wee informal sessions before the training starts, just so that we can all get into the training space, feel comfortable in the training space, and iron out any of these wee issues like microphones and cameras and sound levels and things like that. But the other thing is sitting in front of a computer for long periods of times can be challenging for many people. So that's a consideration if you're coming on the course, because it's a full weekend of sitting like this in front of a computer. So if that's going to cause you a problem, perhaps maybe rethink coming on the course. In order to gain a certificate at the end, the CTS 4-day certificate in funeral celebrancy, students are expected to attend all the sessions and to take part in all the exercises and the homework that you will be given, and to make sure you submit those in a timely fashion, within the time scale that you've been given. And if at the end of the 4 days, I think that there might be extra work needed before you actually go out there into the field and start doing this work, I will let you know that. I'll talk a wee bit more about that in a minute. One of the questions that often comes up when people are considering celebrancy training, any kind of celebrancy training, is this subject of public speaking or professional speaking. And people will say, look, I have absolutely no experience, can I still come on the course? Or I don't, I'm terrified of speaking in public, but I still want to be a celebrant. The very clear answer to whether you can come in the course if you're terrified of public speaking or have absolutely zero experience is no. And I make no apologies for that, to be honest, because as I keep saying, somebody else's funeral service cannot be your training ground to be a celebrant. Just because you want to be a celebrant is not good enough to just go forward when you don't have that experience of holding a room full of people and being able to speak comfortably in a room full of people. Of course, you can develop your skills as you go, and I would warmly encourage that, but if you have an issue with public speaking, that needs to be addressed before you can come on the course, and certainly before you start taking people's funeral services. So I would strongly advise you, if you're thinking of coming on the training, and that's you, either go and get yourself some coaching, go out there and join one of the groups, or join our public speaking boot camp that will help prepare you for that. So, what does the 4 days entail? Well, we start off by looking at funeral celebrancy in Scotland. We look at the different types of celebrants there are. We look at the different types of services there are. We look at the different venues. Using technology, that's always a biggie for celebrants, for students. We look at the structure of funeral services. We spend a great deal of time talking about the family visit and what that looks like and the challenges of that. We talk about difficult and challenging services, babies and children and people who have taken their own life, etc. And then we go on to talk about running a celebrant business. And we do that in 4 days. So it's an action-packed, full-on curriculum. And there are also lots of what-ifs, which is where there's lots of question and answers wee periods as we go through, and those what-ifs are students saying, what if this happens, what if that happens, what if somebody shouts out when you're giving a funeral service, what happens if you don't get very much information from the family, what if this happens? And I do my best to answer those questions. So if you're still listening and you're still interested, why should you consider training with Celebrant Training Scotland? Well, the truth is you should choose to train with whatever organisation you think offers you what you're looking for in terms of celebrant training. But there are certainly a few reasons why I think you should consider coming and training with me or at Celebrant Training Scotland. The first is that I have a background in training development. I have a long background in training development and coaching. And as well as writing training programs. So that comes very naturally to me, and I'm always looking for ways to improve the learner experience, and I do that by getting feedback from the students and then trying to improve things, especially with the virtual learning, because that's all new to us. It was always classroom training, so I'm always trying to get feedback and see how we could do that better. Secondly, Celebrant Training Scotland is really much more of a family or a tribe than just an organisation, in that once you graduate and you become part of us, we've built this really great community of support behind the scenes, where not only do we have regular catch-ups and wine and cheese sessions and book clubs and we have lots of continuous professional development sessions, and we've developed this real ethos of sharing best practice. So we are a really supportive community where you can come on, and any issues, any problems, any challenges you're having, bring it into the group and people will step in to help. Thirdly, this is not an easy course. It's not a case of just paying your course fee and getting a definite thumbs up. If I don't think you're ready, as I said earlier, to be out there holding funeral services, I will tell you that. And I have had to tell people that. Now, I can't stop you from going out. There are no regulations around funeral celebrancy, so anybody can do it. I can't stop you, but I will tell you that I can't support you going forward at the moment. But I will also try my best to help you look at the areas that you need to develop and help you find ways to do that, or certainly an action plan to do that. But I suppose more than anything, I'm not just a trainer, I'm a full-time celebrant. So at the moment I have 7 funeral services this week, and it's only Tuesday. And so I'm always out and about and doing the work and keeping up to date with new developments and growing my experience along with you guys. But another reason is I've only been a celebrant for 4 years, so I didn't get into this industry when there were hardly any celebrants and it was much easier to get work. I came into this when there were loads of celebrants and loads of established celebrants in my area, and I still managed to become a successful celebrant. So more than anything, I bring my ongoing experience into the training space, and I continue to share that with students and with graduates through doing live videos from services, recorded videos, online sessions, and much, much more. So if after all that you would still like to find out more about becoming a funeral celebrant with Celebrant Training Scotland, then click on the link below. That will bring up an application form and you can complete that with some details. about you and why you want to do this work, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Okay, thanks for listening. Speak to you soon. Fair fall.